Hey lovely sexy hobby people, welcome to today's video, which is going to be the review for issue 41 of Warhammer Combat Patrol. This is our Orc Warboss, plus we get a new battle mat as well. So come and join me on the desk and we will have a look. Hey, shall we have a look and see what our Warboss in Mega Armour is going to look like? So there's our resin, our plastic. We get base. Just pop that aside. Now, before we get into the magazine, we have a new battle mat, and I'm just looking at this. So we've got some form of ruins on one side, and on the other side, in a slightly different colour, we've got some different ruins. If we have a look at our two battle maps that we have already, so that was, essentially these should be the same, more or less. So it was that on that side, and it was that on that side. And that's the other one. There's a slight colour variation, I feel. And then obviously we've got different colours here going on. So it doesn't, I mean, you can put them all together if you so wish, but there's going to be some variation. It's not like with Imperium where we had those four battle mats. So on one side they were, I think there were 3 different designs. But on one side, on the opposite side, you put the 4 together and you came up with a battlefield with road and like a landing pad and some ruins and stuff. So I don't think we're going to get that with this particular collection. I mean, I assume that these two were supposed to be similar, but there's a slight colour variation. And then obviously we've got a completely different colour variation going on with this mat. So there's our latest battle mat. I understand, looking at it, looking at the info that we got, that these are we're gonna get 2 of these. So we'll be hopefully we'll be able to put those side by side. Right, let's have a look at the magazine. Okay, Warboss in Mega Armour. Combat Patrol, Terrain Pack. Wow, this is late. I've ordered mine. I've done an unboxing video, which I need to edit and get up on the channel. Wow, it's £80 now, is it? So I did it. When I did it, I paid 75. But let's have a look at this. So it says Warhammer Combat Patrol Terrain Pack, now available on the Hachette Partworks eShop. The battles of Warzone Nachmund see armies clash on inhospitable frontier worlds blasted by extreme weather conditions. These blighted planets are dotted with Imperial fortifications intended to secure strategically important locations and hold crucial borders against the encroaching armies of devious traitors and alien fiends. Rugged and brutal in design, these structures will stand even on lost worlds. A testament to the fearsome struggles that were once fought to maintain the Imperium's iron grip on its frontier. Combat Patrol Terrain Special is a scenery set for Warhammer 40,000 comprising a range of terrain pieces to populate immersive battlefields inspired by fortified border worlds found across Warzone Nachmund. The varied assortment of modular barricades and Imperial structures make it an excellent way to start your terrain collection. So you get this. As far as I can tell, it just because when I ordered it, I didn't get a playmat. a battle mat. It looks like that's still the case because it says 2 times STC have bunkers, 6 times stockades, 2 times stockade with doors, 1 landing pad, 1 all-spec shrine and 1 Vox antenna. Get all this for £80 and you've got a QR code there. I picked mine up early and got it for £75. But even at £80, or it says €100 there, this is still going to be exceptionally good value for money when you consider that these items are currently being sold on the Games Workshop website. I think the hab blocks are £55 and the all-spec shrine and antenna are $47.50 and the landing pad is $47.50. It comes to over £200 basically for the lot. To pick it up for 80 quid I think is exceptionally good value for money. But yeah, that's the flyer for that. Like I say, I've done my unboxing video for that, so I need to just edit it and get it up on the channel. Straight into the magazine, we have our Warboss in Mega Armour, and we are starting off. This is a push fit miniature, so you will not need to use glue to assemble it. I'm still going to use glue. What I suggest is the pegs that you're going to use, just trim a slither off the peg so that as you push it into the hole, the air has somewhere to escape, and you can push it in and push it home more securely. So 1, 2, 3 sections there. We got a little grot on top of the armour with his stubber, and the Mega boss, the Warboss, has some form of powered chain or bladed, sawtooth bladed axe, which is pretty cool. Looking at the paint, you're going to base coat it in black first, according to this. Personally, I've got Death Guard green rattle can, so I will spray him green. I don't like this sickly yellow green that they use for their orcs these days. I don't like that particular colour scheme. So my orcs will be more dark green. So this is my Warboss from the Assault on Blackreach set. When I got it, I did buy a new base because I think he would have been on a 40mm base in the Blackreach box set, but I've upgraded him to a 50mm base. It's nice to see that that's the standard. So we've got the 50mm base for our orc. But yeah, my orcs, I have a much darker green skin for them personally. I prefer that rather than that horrible sickly yellowy green that they're using. Mephiston red, because you know orcs in red make you go faster. And yeah, it's looking good. I might apply some muted colours, because obviously this is looted war gear, isn't it? So some of this stuff might have original colours on from where they've looted it, and I kind of imagine these things to be more of a hodgepodge of different bits and pieces, and so therefore you're going to have different coloured metals. You know, they might tie it together with a wash of, you know, like for example a white wash or a yellow wash or something like that. You know, just so that it kind of has that semblance of uniformity, but I kind of think of Orc armour as being a mismatch, hodgepodge of lots of different pieces of metal that they've garnered from lots of different, like, broken tanks or wagons or jeeps or whatever. It's pretty cool though. I like it as a miniature. I quite like this. I wouldn't with a lot of my spare armies that I have for, you know, if a friend comes around and they just want a casual game and they normally play a particular thing, I don't necessarily, there's 4 armies that I collect, which are Sisters, Dark Angels, Grey Knights and Tau. Those are the ones that I collect. But with something like this, you know, or another box set, like for example those two force sets that they were doing, like Hexfire, you know, or Piety and Pain, I'll probably collect that and I'll keep the other army just in case somebody comes around that wants to have a quick game and they play something like that. And here we go. Excuse me a second. That's it. Right. And that's your work in progress. I believe we're going to get some Astra Granite soon, so if you've been waiting until you get a texture paint to do your bases, you should get it in the next delivery. I hate this. Right, so Slanesh for our read F section, the warp. Talking about the Chaos God, Slanesh, the god of excess. He is a master of excess, delighting in extremes of emotion and sensation. Was it Slanesh for the Noise Marines? It's not Zinch, is it? Zinch is with Thousand Suns. Can't remember off the top of my head. Contorted Epitome, Fiends, Hell Flayers, Keepers of Secrets. I like this. This is cool. 4-armed demon. Right, then we get for collect in our grey section E Orcs 02. Orc characters. We've got our Warboss in Mega Armour, and there's our Death Dread. And we've got our Boombacker Snaz Wagon there as well. So this is Orcs of backgrounds that are varied and colourful as their names and titles. So yeah, Warboss in Mega Armour. We've got a D6 naming table here. And then we've got one for the Death Dread and one for the Snaz Wagon. Then we have another D6 naming table. Okay, at least it's different names. But on our collect E Orcs 03 Warboss in Mega Armour. You get the data sheet. So this guy has a 5-inch move, he's toughness 6, he's got a 2-up save and a 5+ invulnerable save. He's got 7 wounds, he's a leadership 6 and an objective control 1. He has a big shooter, which is rapid fire 2, 36-inch range. 3 attacks, ballistic skill 4+, strength 5, 0 AP damage 1, and he has his huge chopper for melee. And it's 4 attacks, 2+ weapon skill, strength 12, -2 AP and 2 damage. Okay, and then we're into our scenario 27, Thump the Gits. What are we going to be pitting against the Gits? Against the Orc boss. The Warboss of an Orc army receives news that the Eldari are trying to install a gun emplacement near to his camp. Wanting to make sure they don't succeed, the Warboss sets off by himself to show them who's hardest, or is that hardest, and to administer a well-deserved thumping. To play Thump the Gits, set up battle map 1 as shown below, which is the new one that we've got. Then gather the armies. The Orcs player takes their Warboss. The Eldari player takes 1 Wraithguard, 3 Guardian Defenders and 1 heavy weapon platform, 1 Wind Rider armed with twin Shuriken catapult. Finally, the units are deployed in line with the instructions below. First, the Eldari player places their units in their locations shown. So we've got Wind Rider here. We've got the gun platform and the aspect warriors or guardians here. Guardian defenders there. And then 1 Wraithguard there. And then the Warboss is there. And then you've got 4 callouts for terrain cards. Starting with the Eldari player, the players take it in turns deploying terrain to the terrain areas until there is 1 piece of each of terrain each. The Orcs player takes the first turn. In this scenario, you may not take any enhancements or secondary objectives, and neither side may use any faction abilities or stratagems. If the Orc boss can destroy the heavy weapon platform, the Orcs player is the winner. If the Eldari patrol can destroy the Warboss in mega armor, the Eldari player is the winner. If neither side has destroyed the target by the end of the 5th battle round, the game is a draw. And then you have special abilities for Orcs, and then the victory callouts here. So Eldari victory, Orc victory, or draw. Customize your scenario. Once you have played through the scenario above, you can customize it to give yourself a fresh experience. Simply follow the instructions below to pick a new enemy and target. Both players should agree on which units to use so that the battle is fun to play. Remember, the Warboss likes a good challenge, not an easy fight. So, yeah, looks like you can use the different combat patrols that you've collected so far. So, Space Marines, Tyranids, Chaos, Space Marines, or Eldari, and take it in turns to attack the Orc. So, we get Coelia Green Shade and Calgar Blue. In issue 42, and then in issue 43 we get 10 Orc Boys. And again, I don't really like the colour scheme. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10. Right, let's have a bit of plastic, shall we? So you get your 50mm base. This is a sculpt of 2021. Excuse me. Excuse me. And he's actually a bit of a big fella. I mean, just by putting this guy up against him, he's actually his mega armor is going to make him slightly taller than the old Warboss from Black Reach. We have a bit of, I'm assuming that's a bit of tactical rubble for him to stand on. And then you have his power pack here with the exhaust stacks. His exoskeleton on the legs to help him go faster, no doubt. And then we have our grot on top. We have one leg and one arm in the face, and then we have the rest of the body here, and the other arm and other leg. Yeah, this is cool. I mean, this chopper is really cool. It's a big ass thing. Nice. Let's get it on the desk then, and we'll get it built. Come and join me in a sec. Now then, so I've split the build up into 3 parts, just using some sauce pots that come with takeaway to divide it up, so it's much easier to keep track of things. First thing I'm going to do is pop in this tab bar here, which is for some of the exoskeleton to attach to. And then we have, now I need to get this around the right way, because we have the feet. I think that one goes there, which it does, and then I think this one attaches to the torso, which it does. So one foot and 2 feet. Like that, and then this will go into that recess just there. And then I don't know if you can see, but on the pegs I have just shaved a little slither off, and the reason I do that is to allow the air to come out of the peg hole, so that it's easier to push this together. Because otherwise sometimes what you get is a situation whereby you have a complete peg and you're trying to push it into the hole, and because the air can't escape because it's a tight fit, you push it in, and then the peg, by pneumatic action, the air pushes the peg back out again. So I always cut a little slither onto my pegs when they're a push fit mini to allow me to push it together without any issues. And there are some seam lines, some join lines that you're going to get with this, which I'm hoping the plastic well is going to take care of. So that's what we have so far with our orc. The next step is to put the head on. And this guy attaches like that. So head, and then we have part of the exoskeleton, and there's a couple of pins here that line up with pins on the body, and the tubing marries up round the back. So there you go. Now we got the face plate here, which is going on, and that's gonna go into the front there. Actually, I'll let that dry because I'm not going to glue that, so that it's easier for me to get in and paint the face and his like upper chest area. We then have this piece that goes on, again using the pegs on the leg there. So there's the exoskeleton part of him complete. That's better. That needed a slightly firmer push to locate. Right, so that's where we've got to. We then have his arm, which is this arm, and that's going to locate in here. So I'm just going to locate that like so, and then push that in there. Like that. I then have this piece of armour plate going in. Like there. And what would happen is his And that doesn't make sense at all. Oh, that's better, that makes sense. And then that would glue there. But again, I'm not actually going to glue this in place. The reason being that I want to be able to take it off so that I can get better access for painting. So that's that bit. We're then coming to the final bits, and we have this piece which attaches here. Like so. That causes an issue, because if I glue that piece in, then I can't access. I will have to clip that pin completely away like that. So now I will locate that hand and push that into position like so. We've then got this piece of armour which is going to attach on that shoulder. Just like that. Just pop some more glue in there. And we then have the backpack, his power plant. Which you're going to push on like so. So that is essentially our orc. That's better. That's nice and easy to do. This will go there like that for his armour on his jaw, and then that locates in there, that locates there. Then what we have is our base. And the base is this. And I'm just trying to marry up the footprint. There's a slight cutout for his foot, from what I can tell. And that will form... will need to obviously be glued to that like so. And then in theory that should be in the right position to push. And there you have it. There is your Orc Warboss in Mega Armour. Now, he's pretty cool. I like him. Let's do a side-by-side comparison. Let's do it that side because it's slightly easier. So side-by-side comparison to the Orc Warboss that you got from Blackreach. Yeah, cool. As I say, he's going to stand slightly taller because he's in mega armour. But that is your Warboss with this issue. I hope you enjoyed that, and I will see you in the next video. Alright, take care. Bye bye.